Yo les gens, c'est SkyWhait et aujourd'hui on se retrouve pour une toute nouvelle vidéo sur The Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. Dans cette magnifique vidéo, nous allons commencer à entamer le mode DLC Maids Deception 2. Instantanément, c'est-à-dire que je vais directement y aller en espérant que ce mode DLC soit bien, en espérant que tout ce qui est français, pack français, marche. Ce serait cool que tout ça marche. Je t'entends pas de son. Donc en espérant que tout ça marche et que ça ne soit pas buggé. Alors je sais pas si vous êtes au courant, mais voilà, dans Blanche-Rive il y a un problème, c'est que j'ai mis un mode qui fait que il y a de neige et c'est moche, faut que j'enlève ça. Mais j'ai remarqué que certaines personnes, mais très rarement, on les voit de temps en temps, mais très rarement, ont des vêtements buggés. Je pense que c'est dû au mode Maids Deception 2, dans le sens où, comme je vous l'ai dit, ça rajoute une couche de vêtements par-dessus, et ça peut totalement, je pense, faire bugger certains vêtements, puisqu'en fait je rappelle que j'ai plein de vêtements, ça va polir par exemple les armes, etc. Polir les vêtements, et un vêtement poli, ça l'abîme. C'est-à-dire que si je demande une amélioration sur cette veste de cuir là, que l'elfe elle porte, ben, potentiellement ça peut bugger, puisque le mode ça va s'adapter au personnage, mais on aura du mal à s'adapter aux autres personnages en fait. Ok, c'est parti. Déjà je suis très content parce que ça marche, j'espère maintenant que le patch FR va marcher. C'est super.
Welcome to Jonestead, stranger. An underground town, safe and far away from the troubles on the outside. I'm not surprised you haven't heard about us. It's not the most interesting place in Skyrim for adventurers. Not really. Normally, I'd ask a newcomer if they're interested in building a home down here. But since that would mean relinquishing all of your weapons, I get the feeling that wouldn't work for you. I suppose if you're desperate for work, you can see if our town's founder, Marcus Pinder, has any errands for you to run.
Ouais, j'avais vu un truc qui disait que pour faire ce mode DLC, il fallait que je me débarrasse de tout mon stuff et ça allait pas être top. J'espère que c'est une blague.
Co-founder of Jonestead, along with Marcus. If you ever need anything around town, I'm the man to see. Take care of yourself out there.
C'est rapide. Voilà, rentre à la maison s'il te plaît et arrête de bailler dans mes oreilles.
10 years ago,
Histoire de John
Marcus came to me, seeking aid to build an underground town in this cavern. I was the head of a construction company at the time, but I was a few weeks away from retirement. He said he was looking for a place to get away from it all, and thought living underground, literally, was the only way to do that. The prospect of building something of this magnitude was enough to keep me in the job for another year. So, after adjusting a rock or two and building houses for the Pinter family and myself, Jonestead was completed. Families have come and gone, but the Pinder family and I have been here since the beginning. Anyway, about the name, Marcus thought it would be a good idea to name it after the Aldmeri god of Secunda. Said he thought this place was like a crater on the face of the moon. Sorry, I'm not one to spread gossip. If you have any questions for anyone, you can ask them directly. Almost everyone here is happy to keep their doors open and welcome guests into their homes. When Marcus and I founded Jonestead 10 years ago, he made it very clear that he wanted it to be a safe haven. He wanted to have no part in whatever wars were fought on the outside. The town's pacifist roots have helped so far in avoiding attention from either side in the Civil War. Bandits have never been a problem, thanks to the Jarl of the Rift and his commitment to securing our perimeter.
Je continue de penser que c'est pas une bonne idée, par rapport.
Oh, hello. Do you need help with anything? My name is Misty. I moved to Skyrim from Valenwood after my sister joined the Imperial Legion. I wanted to be closer to her, and Jonestead just seemed like the safest place to live.
J'adore sa voix.
Yes,
C'est une voix
I
que
will
je trouve
keep
incroyable.
What do you need, ma'am? I'm Christy, a former commander in the Imperial Legion. I've completed my service and have settled down here with my twin sister.
Tu sais que moi je suis officier de
I
la
am
Légion
proud the
impériale. Hein.
Empire has achieved victory. If only I was there when Ulfric fell. I had many friends that fought in the Battle of Windhelm, and it would have been an honor to fight with them once again. Now that the Stormcloak Rebellion is in shambles, perhaps we can all finally gather the strength to face the Thalmor threat. I wear it in honor of all who have fought and died in the Legion, and because my sister finds it inspirational. Fight with honor.
Je vais parler à tout le monde pour voir un peu.
Warm welcome to you.
Voilà.
Name's Valan Danda. If you're looking for any books to read, feel free to stop by my wife and I's house.
Ok.
Come visit us again
Ça me paraît bizarre, parce qu'ils ont tous l'air très sympas. C'est plausible, hein, ça peut exister, mais il faut bien... voilà.
In need of some
Toi.
fresh goods? Madato. My farm here in town is all I care about. A nice, peaceful life. It's all I ever wanted. Yes, it isn't tiring really. Although I did have help from a young Nord who used to live here a year ago. He left to join the Stormcloaks. I suspect the worst, but I'll carry on. Help yourself to any good crops. They are all sent to the warehouse anyway.
J'ai du mal à faire confiance à ces gens là, parce qu'ils ont tous l'air très sympas. Friend. Parce que je rigolais quand ils ont fait l'accent.
The fray approaches. This
sa voix,
one
elle
is
est-
called the Banshee, but it's only a name given to the Khajiit form. Only the dead know this one's true identity. Of course, do not feel intimidated by appearances. This one will not
Ah, t'as un
hurt you
lion.
in this form. Return if you have news to share of the outside.
C'est une très très belle maison. Alors, toi je t'ai parlé, toi
Need
je t'ai pas parlé
something,
encore.
Crut? I am a Tulk, a mercenary along with my comrade Bogdul. We will complete any mission as long as the pay is worth it. You really think I'm going to tell you that? If Bosca wasn't an idiot, he'd have gotten his gear into town without asking for permission. It isn't that hard to keep a secret. Not saying that I managed to get my weapons into town, but you get the idea. I ain't keeping ya.
Hello. Always nice to see a friendly face. I am Alona Danda, loyal wife to Valan. We moved here from Solitude a few months ago to get away from the Civil War. How nice of you to say. But this wealth isn't mine. It belongs to my sister. She was gracious enough to provide safe haven for my husband and I. Hammerfell isn't what it used to be. Speaking of which, if you ever go there, be sure to check up on Virgil of Dragonstar. She welcomes any weary traveller to her home, unless she's moved again. I haven't seen her in years. Please
Ok.
do
I take it you're going to ask me something important? G'day,
Oh,
fisherman. That's all there is to it. Sorry if I'm not as interesting as you, traveler. Well,
Okay.
I don't leave the town. My old bones aren't what they used to be, and I wouldn't be able to fend off any animals out in the wilderness. I used to be a damn good fisherman years ago. I like to think I still am. If only they'd fill a small lake in here, I'd prove it to you. Now go catch a big fish for me.
Ok. quête. C'est très beau en tout cas.
Goodbye, friend.
Je vais pas rentrer dans les maisons, je vais pas le faire encore. Je vais juste tracer. Donc ouais, je pense qu'il va y avoir du sale, très très sale. Le petit ton. Ok. J'ai l'impression qu'avec mes écouteurs, j'entends un peu... ils crient de partout, quoi. C'est un peu le bordel, quoi. Bon, c'est parti. Je prends envie de perdre tout mon ici. S'il vous plaît. Quelle maison?
What? Who are you?
Enchanté. Marcus, n'est-ce pas?
I suppose there's no harm in that, though I need to remember to keep the doors locked when I'm not expecting visitors. No offense, stranger. Let's just start over. I'm Marcus Pender, founder of this town. If you're looking for work, then I have the perfect task for you. I sent my daughter Kasia out over an hour ago to fetch some fresh goods from Ma Dato, and she hasn't returned. If you wouldn't mind, could you go look for her and bring her back immediately? I have some spare coins lying around to pay you for your trouble. It is. Consider it a test to see if you're reliable for jobs that require a little more legwork and pay a lot more gold. Okay,
Ouais, enfin,
just
le
come
test
back
là,
with her soon. Understand? I need to get back to...
Là, le but c'est trouver ta meuf, enfin ta petite fille qui, je sais pas, qui se fait violer par un star, aucune idée. J'aime beaucoup. Là, j'aime bien. Bon, effectivement, s'ils suppriment mes armes, en fait, ça va me saouler. Et je pense qu'ils, j'espère qu'ils vont pas supprimer mon stuff parce que ça me saoule en fait. Au sens où. Comment c'est tout. Enfin, je suis sûr qu'il y a des armes et du stuff qui va être différent, qui risque d'être fun, mais. Donc là, on est dans l'entrepôt. Putain, c'est beau, hein. Je sais pas comment ça se fait, mais.
You have to understand that it's only a precaution, Bosco. Ever since you moved here, you've been petitioning non-stop to allow the sale of weapons. My father...
Yes, your father. I've asked countless times to speak with him privately about his idiotic policy, and still he refuses me. This town's love for pacifism has gone too far. Nobody here wants to admit it, but Skyrim is under attack. Noble warriors on the outside are in desperate need of weapons wherever they go. Let me provide them with the swords that they need, while at the same time helping your father up from the empty pit he's dug himself into.
Don't pretend to care about my father. If you truly wish to help, then you could start by not breaking the rules. Aid the people of Skyrim by going to where they need it most. Do not wait for that opportunity to stumble into town.
You've made your point. So be it. But my chance at saving a little piece of Skyrim is right here in Jonestead. Tell your father that I will no longer be pestering him over this matter. Now take your goods and leave. I have a much more appreciative guest waiting to be served. What have we here?
Oh, hello. I did not realize you were waiting. You're new to Jonestead, aren't you? It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Kasha. I apologize for giving you a poor first impression of our town. Bosco over there isn't on the best of terms with my father. I foolishly thought it was a good idea to confront him. But enough of that. It's not every day that a stranger comes to our town. What brings you to Jonestead? In that case, maybe you should talk to my father. He may have something for you. This again? Can't you just let me have some time to myself without worrying? Ugh, this is so embarrassing. He won't say it, so I will. Sorry for wasting your time. Let's hurry and get back home. I sure hope he pays you well.
What have we here?
Toi.
Bosca. Just your simple Argonian trying to make his way in Skyrim. I heard the old warehouse keeper had an accident with a bear when traveling to Bruma to visit his family. So I jumped at the chance to fill the open position. Good, peaceful work that has a modest pay rate. Far better than my last job. No, but I've been there many times throughout my travels. I never stayed because I prefer finding work all across Tamriel. To make this world a better place to live in has always been my goal. No matter the job, I'm willing to do something right.
No.
I'm afraid that's personal. I'm afraid I can't help you. This is a warehouse, not a shop. My orders are to keep track of the inventory and supplies that are to be distributed freely among the rest of the people in town. You're welcome to take supplies, I guess. I won't stop you, but at least have the decency not to take all the alcohol on the second floor. Nothing at all. I only heard that Jonestead was having a little trouble with its economy given the return of the dragons. So I suggested the idea that we take in weapon shipments so we can sell them to any wandering adventurers. I only smuggled in a sword or two to prove Marcus wrong, but I had no idea Walsh was promoted to inspector. Sorry if I had the best interests of this town on my mind. Those uptight sons of... May we meet again.
Ils ont tous l'air très sympas. Mais c'est vrai que le problème c'est que quand t'es une ville pas défendue, c'est que tu risques vraiment d'être une grosse victime quoi. Est-ce que s'il y a des mecs qui viennent et qui veulent égorger tout le monde, ils rentrent et ils égorgent tout le monde, ils ont pas d'armes en fait donc... Putain cette paire de loches qu'elle a... Qu'est-ce que tu fais? Tu vois, c'est ce genre d'habit là qui fait bugger un petit peu, c'est que c'est des habits un peu importés, tu vois, et du coup forcément si on les met à ces personnages ils sont adaptés, puisque justement ils ont été faits pour être adaptés sur ces personnages, mais si en fait on les met sur d'autres personnages, ça fait bugger les autres personnages. Après on peut rien y faire je pense. Je pense qu'on peut rien y faire, mais il faut juste, voilà, si je fais le DLC il y aura pas de problème, par contre une fois le DLC terminé, il faudra que je quitte le DLC, c'est-à-dire qu'il faudra que je l'enlève.
Kasha, where have you been?
I went to get the food from Adado like you asked.
Which took you hours? Listen, Kasha, you can't keep doing this. Now more than ever, I need to know you're safe. The Civil War and the return of the dragons. This is the perfect chance for them to strike.
Nothing is going to happen, Dad. Almost 20 years of us running away from whatever it is you fear, even longer for you alone. Not once have we been in danger.
Soon you'll understand. I'm so close to finishing this battle. When it's finally over, I'll tell you everything. Trust me.
Trust? How can you say that? You trusted this stranger to bring me back here. And you couldn't trust me to do something so mundane as to bring you food? You haven't left this house since we got news of the attack on Helden. Keep hiding all you want, but I'm visiting Ripton tomorrow. With or without your permission.
Walsh
Il s'est passé des trucs entre temps, hein.
Comes and leaves Jonestead. I made sure to let him know you were not allowed to leave unless I say so. Alto and Boto will be outside the gate if you manage to slip out.
Are you
Wow.
insane? Okay.
Ouais, tu vis, hein.
I'll find some other way out of here.
Ah ouais, la
You should
pauvre.
go collect your payment from my father.
Par contre, je sais pas pourquoi ton nom bug. Bon, c'est pas très grave, mais...
That went better than I expected. Not good, but not as bad as how she reacted when we moved out of Solitude when she was a kid. I hope it wasn't a hassle tracking her down. As promised, here's 200 gold. It's not much, but
Merci
I
bien.
have some more to spare if you're willing to run one more errand for me.
Oula, gaz du dé... Alors,
Indeed she did. To her, I'm just an overprotective father. But in reality, I held a truth that would devastate her emotionally. Look around you,
connaissais bien.
friend. There is turmoil wherever you go. Not just Skyrim, but all of Tamriel. War, dragons. But none of that is what worries me. There exists an enemy that has plagued my family for generations. Pinder family has known nothing but their torment ever since the end of the Third Era. I cannot discuss it with anybody except my closest confidants. Not even Walsh knows the real reason why I'm so afraid. The fact that I am
J'ai
even
peur du
talking to you
Dragonborn.
about this is because I trust you not to say a word to my daughter. Maybe when it is all over, you'll learn about what I was fighting by reading the history books. Or you'll quietly go on with your life as my bloodline comes to a tragic end.
t'inquiète pas, au pire je me marie avec ta fille et tout se passe très bien.
Sure.
Alors.
What do you wish to know? I'll be honest with you, friend. Jonstead wasn't built with a source of revenue to begin with. Chaos that's brewing across the province forces us to cut back on imports. We have Ma to to thank for most of our food, but then there are some necessities you can't grow. I poured unspeakable amounts of gold into Jonstead's construction, so I'm not about to stand aside and let it go bankrupt. Worst case scenario, we'd have to start putting prices on what we normally distribute for free to all our citizens. No matter what it takes, I'll make sure it doesn't come to that.
Ah, en gros, quand il
I've
pêche,
known
réglementation
nothing
des
but
armes.
violence my entire life. Jonstead was my chance at creating a safe haven where anyone willing to put down the sword was welcomed. There are times when I am tempted to permit weapons so that we may defend ourselves, but after
ouais.
10 years, we have yet to have any problems.
Ouais, mais le jour où tu m'envoies un, tu te fais enculer en fait, c'est ça le
Including
problème.
Kasha and I, Jonstead has a population of 16 citizens.
Vous
You've
êtes
got
16 habitants en
Walsh,
fait.
a good friend and my assistant in making sure all is right in town. There's Zunza, Shavi, and John, probably the most diverse family in all of Skyrim. The wealthy Donda couple, be sure to check Dylan's book collection if you're interested. The Orc Mercs, not the friendliest bunch, but they are the most helpful around town when it comes to heavy lifting. The Bosmer twins, don't know much about them since they keep to themselves. Also got Ma to the farmer. He's helped this town immensely these past few years. Jadave the Dunmer lives in a small shack. Quiet man who wishes to spend the rest of his life in peace and quiet.
Ça, faudrait que je le voie.
There's also the wandering Abanji.
Okay.
You may find her in the town hall building if she's not roaming about town. Finally, there's Bosca. We hired him to manage the warehouse after the previous caretaker passed away. Fine by me.
Alors, on
I'm
pourrait
sure she
casser.
wouldn't be too happy if all I said was, she's the best daughter in Tamriel. Her mother passed away during childbirth. I'm sure she would have loved Kasha. She was stoic, for lack of a better term, but compassionate. She would have been an excellent mother, a far better parent than I have been.
Aïe aïe aïe. C'est
Beautiful,
compliqué ça,
isn't
la
she?
race.
Her looks obviously come from her mother, who was ashen. They're quite a rare sight in Tamriel. Kasha is actually of mixed race, ashen, Nord, Imperial, and even Bosmer. Our family has quite a history.
Justement, je trouve qu'il n'y a pas beaucoup de diversité hein, dans un monde où tu peux baiser et faire des gosses avec n'importe qui.
She doesn't. It's the curse of being a Pinder. Whenever we go on a rare trip outside of Jonestead,
je comprends pas pourquoi en fait. C'est quoi le truc, vous êtes des victimes?
She abhors having to wear a masked helmet, but it is for our protection. One day she will understand why we do this.
Ah oui, parce que au pire, tu tabasses le mec qui te fait chier et il fait plus chier quoi. Sauf si c'est une magie ou quoi. Je comprends pas pourquoi.
But I have no other choice.
J'ai hâte d'avancer dans l'histoire parce qu'en fait ça me perturbe, genre vous êtes des victimes.
She does, and I'm not talking about her errands or chores. To help out with our personal finances, she goes around town providing maid services for a small charge.
Ouais, j'étais sûr.
The Donda schedule her to work every weekday, Zunsa every weekend, and the others hire her at random. Kasia loves her job, keeps her entertained in what she would consider a boring old town. She always has fun with Zunza's boy, John.
Ouais, j'ai vu le petit gamin.
Fine by me.
Ok.
C'est
quoi l'histoire avec Bosca? Ah ouais, mais mec, quand c'est la dèche, c'est la dèche. Hein.
I understand the need for weapons in Skyrim these days, but I will not allow him to compromise the virtues this town stands for. Besides, we rarely receive any visitors, much less soldiers and adventurers. We'd end up losing more due to shipping costs. Walsh and I have discussed the situation in private, and all that needs to be said is that if he tries to sneak in weapons again, we're kicking him out.
Ouais.
That is unfortunate. This isn't the first time Kasia has tried fighting my battles. It must be because I'm getting old and she feels the need to defend me in any given situation. Thank you for telling me. I'll have her apologize to Bosca later, even though what she said in their banner was probably true. Yes, originally I had planned to have you deliver this letter by yourself, but as you saw, Kasia is furious. It would be a load off my back if you can take her with you. May she consider it my unspoken apology for embarrassing her. Usually, she would have to wear a mask whenever she travels with me outside of Jonestead. But I figured since your path is through the wilderness, it wouldn't hurt not to wear it this one time. Exactly what I wanted to hear. Now to tell you where you're going.
Je suis pas n'importe qui, quoi.
Euphoria Palace. No problem.
Ouais, bien sûr, je
I'll
connais.
mark it on your
Ah
map.
bah si, je connais connard.
Here's a letter. Don't bother trying to read it. It's highly encrypted. Deliver it to one of the guards at the front entrance. They'll know who it's for. It's a brothel. Now, before you judge, I have business with the owners, not the courtesans. We go way back, and our friendship during these trying times will be beneficial for us all. This letter is requesting their assistance. That's all there is to it. Have Kasia tag along, deliver the letter to Euphoria Palace, and return for your payment. I'd appreciate if you'd do this immediately. Go tell Kasia about the plan when you're ready. I have to lock the doors behind you. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Alors, servante de bord de ciel, c'est parti. Donc moi, j'ai dû confondre avec le palais bleu. Alors, il m'a dit que c'était crispé. Est-ce que c'est vraiment... Ah ouais. Alors, pour info, je suis capable de lire du binaire. Hein. Mais c'est chiant. Parce que je fais des études d'informatique. Et le binaire, ça va. C'est un truc que je peux gérer, quoi. Bon, forcément, je peux gérer... Waouh. J'ai pas encore touché à ce... Waouh. Le binaire, ouais, je peux le traduire en chiffres. Et ensuite, bah, par contre, après, il faut que je mette ça sur écrit, mais je peux traduire les chiffres en... Qu'est-ce que c'est que cette merde? Je peux traduire les chiffres en... En lettres, quoi. Putain, tu es où, là? Qu'est-ce que tu fais? Mais où est-elle? Ah, c'est... Ah, l'étage, bah oui, je suis bête. C'est mal indiqué. Non, c'est très mal indiqué, je suis stupide. Tu vois ta petite chambre, là. Équipement des servantes éloignées.
Oh, hello again. Are you planning on staying a while longer? It'd be nice to have some company for once. Thinking about a way to get out of here. Walking out the door won't work if what Dad said is true. Maybe stuff myself into a crate and wait to be shipped off? Vaska sends out shipments every other day. If I sneak into the warehouse during the middle of the night... No, you're right. It won't. I just don't know what to do. Maybe I'm just being selfish. My father needs me. I just wish he wouldn't be so paranoid about me getting hurt. Give me one chance to prove that I can look after myself. To explore Skyrim without him by my side. True freedom. What? Are you serious? By the gods, what did you say to him? Doesn't matter. I can't believe it. Thank you so much. Let me get some of my gear. Well, I better bring along my mask, too. I don't know what to say. Ever since I was a child, we would always have to cover our faces everywhere we went. Again, thank you. If only you knew how long I've waited for this opportunity. Where are we going?
Bon, par contre, je suis désolé, mais on va au Palais aux Fourrières.
I knew this was too good to be true. Father's obsessed with that disgusting place.
Je suis désolé,
He always has an excuse.
Mais bon, tu sors quand même.
Delivering a letter, checking up on an old friend. He can't admit that he's going there for, you know. Does he have no shame? Bet that letter is only to schedule another appointment. Yes, it's a chance to finally get out of Jonestead and see the world in a completely new way. I'm not thrilled about the destination, but it should be fun nonetheless. Maybe my father is turning over a new leaf. This could be his way of preparing me to leave the nest. My 20th birthday is coming up. Right behind you. It would be best not to upset my father by taking me anywhere else other than the palace. Not that I would mind, but I'd hate for you to get in trouble. If you have an emergency on the way there, you can send me back to Jonestead. I'll wait inside by the entrance.
Non mais c'est quoi ta merde là en fait? T'inquiète pas, hein, s'il y a un mec, je le défonce. J'ai l'impression d'être connu, et en même temps de pas du tout être connu dans Bord de Sienne. C'est-à-dire que je suis quand même... J'ai pas mal de statuts, quoi. Hein. Je suis officier de la Légion impériale, je suis maître dans quasiment toutes les guildes possibles imaginables. J'ai tué le boss final des internets, clairement. Par contre, il y a un truc, alors faut que je check. Hop, pardon. C'est est-ce que j'ai une arme? Alors déjà, j'ai un arc de lumière de merde. Est-ce que je n'ai pas d'arme? C'est ça, c'est ça. Je n'ai pas d'arme. Du coup, je vais aller dans mon event buy. Il me faut une arme, en fait. Je ne peux pas ne pas avoir d'arme. Arme, on va poser l'arc de Wemmer. Cette arme-là, on peut pas la poser, d'accord. Ça aussi, on va le poser. Est-ce que j'ai des tenues stylées sur moi? Non, je crois pas. Oui, c'est que la merde. Oui. Enfin, j'ai 700. Attends, j'aimerais bien poser tout ce qui est divers pour me larguer un petit peu de tout ce qui est poids un peu chiant. Voilà. Alors, moi je veux une arme. J'aimerais bien une épée. Ouais, je suis un fan d'arc, donc forcément il va y avoir quelques arcs. Wow, Valkyr Cap, ouais, quand je vais avoir la... Oh là là, j'ai tellement d'armure, en vrai j'ai tellement de... Par contre, qu'est-ce qu'il fout là, la Valkyr Cap? Enfin... Je vais prendre cette arme. J'ai limite envie de la tester là, avec le cap. Ah, moi, comme je suis monstrueux. Formidable, je vais la reposer. Arme. Parce que là, je suis en mode druidique. Mais après, je pense que je vais passer... J'ai d'autres armures à tester. Très belle cette épée. Hein. Bon, c'est pas vraiment une épée qui convient, mais c'est ok. Oui, j'ai oublié, mais j'ai plein d'armures encore à tester. J'ai une armure full mage, donc quand je rejouerai un mode mage, je reprendrai une armure full mage. J'ai une armure guerrier. J'ai un tas d'armures. Hein. Et de belles armures, de très belles armures. De la beauté, un temple dédié aux femmes lui consacré à Malkart. En espérant qu'il n'y aura pas trop de lag en bord de ciel, parce que comme vous le savez, en bord de ciel, il y a beaucoup de crash, puisqu'il y a beaucoup de trucs à importer en fait, donc ça peut faire bugger à certains endroits. C'est malheureusement le problème en bord de ciel, c'est pour ça que je fais beaucoup de TP en fait, enfin beaucoup de téléportation rapide. Donc oui, j'ai beaucoup d'armures à tester. Là, c'était une armure... Là, actuellement, voilà, j'ai l'armure druidique que je trouve très jolie, que je vais garder pour l'occasion. Et j'ai beaucoup d'armures encore à mettre, à enfiler, et à voir si c'est stylé, quoi. Enfin, j'aime pas quand c'est long comme ça, c'est insupportable, j'aime vraiment pas. Et yo les gens, c'est SkyWhait, donc voilà, excusez-moi, ça en fait ça crash. Alors en fait ce qui se passe, ça crash tout simplement. Le retour en bord du ciel est très compliqué, ça crash, et c'est pas ça crash genre à cause de cet épisode, c'est que ça crash tout le temps. Vous inquiétez pas, hein, il n'y aura pas de problème pour les autres épisodes, j'ai réussi à régler le problème hors vidéo, et du coup je vous en parlerai un petit peu plus dans la deuxième vidéo. Là en fait ce qui se passe c'est que, vu que je suis en train d'éditer cette vidéo à l'instant T, il y a déjà quelques épisodes que j'ai sur Skyrim, donc je peux vous assurer que le let's play va continuer, il n'y aura aucun problème là-dessus, c'était juste pour vous dire que voilà, c'est normal que ça a coupé en gros et que je vous parle là. Il y a eu un petit crash, voilà, on connaît le temps que je règle des problèmes. De toute façon, dès qu'on ajoute des mods, il y a des problèmes qui se créent, donc voilà, donc je suis un petit peu désolé, j'espère en tout cas que cet épisode vous a plu, j'ai vraiment kiffé le faire avec vous, à l'époque, au moment où je l'ai fait, là, je vais vous dire que je suis en train de réviser mon anglais, en fait, donc, bon. Donc en tout cas, j'espère que cet épisode vous a plu, j'espère que ma chaîne vous plaît pour le moment, n'hésitez pas à me soutenir en vous mettant un petit commentaire sympa, des petits conseils de mode, etc. Et d'ici là, je vous dis à la prochaine vidéo. Bye!